I do not know who and where shot this video, but here's what interests me. Does the snake or the turtle win here? Or does everyone lose? Does everyone win? What's going on? The first thing I thought, maybe the snake just got stuck. Is it even possible? I mean, it's a snake. A creature that has to crawl literally everywhere, feel its body perfectly and all that. But as soon as I looked, I discovered that this is not a unique case. In Middlesex County, Massachusetts, by chance and passers-by found an American snake stuck in a snail shell. The snake was going to have a snack, but did not calculate the dimensions when it stuck its head inside. Most likely, the poor man would have remained in this sink if people hadn't pulled him out. So a snake stuck in a turtle shell has a right to exist. She's really stuck and can't get out in any way, although she's twitching with all her might. At the same time, the turtle is still inside, it even moves its paws. Damn, snake, I really need to get out. Perhaps she was going to attack the turtle, but the holes in the shell turned out to be too small, or maybe it was the turtle itself that grabbed the snake, and then dragged it after itself. No wonder the poor guy is panicking so much, and the turtle is still alive. Turtles generally have quite powerful jaws, they are quite realistic to keep a snake, especially if she is not welcome here. What do you need? Can't you see, it's busy here. Okay, maybe this snake just chose the wrong tactics, it needed to somehow squeeze the turtle together with the shell. If there were an anaconda in the place of this snake, it would certainly cope. I mean, an anaconda can't break a turtle shell. It seemed that the turtle's fate was sealed when a large snake wrapped around her. After all, few people can resist the power of the anaconda. The snake did the same thing as usual, that is, it tried to squeeze all the air out of the turtle so that it could have a snack later. But the turtle did not give up. For several minutes she fought for her life, resisted with all her might, and then a man came to the rescue. In general, another happy ending, except that not for the anaconda, which remained hungry. Well, what did she want when she attacked the turtle? Nature itself has given this animal universal protection from snakes, and not only from snakes. Made of bone, covered with hard plates, the shell prevents many predators from getting to the turtle meat, and it is incredibly difficult to crack the shell, especially when you are a snake and are not ready for such tests purely physically, especially when a turtle can bite back. Yes, turtles, in principle, bite in self-defense, but the vulture turtle is a real berserker in this respect. Firstly, it is, in principle, quite ferocious, and secondly, it is a predator that is ready to eat any meat, including small alligators. A vulture turtle should be handled with extreme caution and considered potentially dangerous. This species can bite through the handle of a broom, and rare cases have been reported where people have lost fingers. It is not surprising that adult vulture turtles have few natural enemies. Will they even climb to such a beast? However, if we talk about snakes, then any turtles are not their favorite dish. And here everything is quite simple. Snakes have no teeth. Even poisonous species cannot survive what they are going to eat, so they are forced to swallow the prey whole. And yes, their mouths can stretch so wide that animals 3 times the size of their heads can fit there. However, snakes have digestive problems. Turtle shells are not only large, but also have uneven edges, and when a snake tries to swallow a turtle, it risks damaging internal organs. So we get lunch with the probability of internal bleeding. SOSO position in the menu. It is not surprising that snakes very rarely choose turtles. But not only snakes have problems with shells. I'm actually starting to think that this is something like a mithril chain mail, only from the animal world. Here is a white shark, the same monster that everyone is afraid of, tried to eat a sea turtle and suffocated. Moreover, the very probability of suffocation for a white shark is very small, but the fact remains. First, fishermen noticed a predator with a turtle in its mouth, and the next day a dead shark. Needless to say, sharks rarely eat turtles at all. Steve choked on a turtle. And all why? Because he skipped history in the 5th grade. What? Wait, how did the turtles get such amazing armor in the first place? When did this happen? Well, in studies published in the journal Current Biology on May 30, 2013, it is assumed that turtle shells may have begun to develop 260 million years ago. A hell of a long time, you'll probably think. Damn good timing, I'll say. Approximately 252 million years ago, a massive Permian extinction occurred on our planet, the most serious in history. 81% of marine species disappeared, 70% of terrestrial vertebrate species, and the ancestors of turtles survived. True, all the dates here are quite conditional, different scientists have different opinions on this. But if you believe the study I mentioned, it turns out that turtles got their shells just a few million years before the mass extinction. Maybe that's why they didn't become extinct? But that's just my guess. In any case, the shell is an ancient way of protection that has helped turtles throughout their evolutionary history and at the same time prevented predators from eating them all this time. Thanks to the found piece of fossilized feces of an ancient shark, scientists have found out that the last meal of a predator that lived 70 million years ago was the same ancient turtle. In fact, a newborn shark ate a newborn turtle and couldn't cope. The prey was too large, even the vertebrae could not be digested to the end, and as a result the shark died. Well, Chapter 3, Section 5. Sharks have always had problems with turtles. And not only sharks, sometimes people come across fish that can't digest even very small turtles. Maybe, of course, they just don't have enough time, but the fact remains that you can quite get a turtle still alive from the fish. It is unlikely that this trick would work with any other animal. Wait, I keep talking about how strong the turtle shell is and how difficult it is to crack or crush. There are not enough exact numbers. So, the shell of a land turtle is harder than that of a water turtle. They have evolved to have stronger armor because they can escape into the water when danger threatens. It is believed that the shells of land turtles are able to withstand a weight 200 times greater than their own. In short, even 450 kilos of pressure may not be enough to break a turtle shell. Even alligators and crocodiles can't always handle it. But the Nile crocodile, by the way, has the strongest jaws on the planet, and the rest know a lot about biting. But knowing all these things, of course you wonder, if the shells are so cool and provide their owners with such reliable protection, why not everyone grow their own shells? It seems that this would save the animals from problems with predators and mass extinction. It's not as simple as it seems. The shell of a turtle is not the same as the shell of a crab or a snail shell. A reptile can't just get out of it, because the shell is a part of the body. It is formed by the ribs together with the vertebrae, modified in a special way. According to paleontologist Thaler Lyson, this may be the main reason why no one grows such a shell anymore. Mammalian and lizard ribs are used for lung ventilation. If you put your ribs in a protective shell, then you will have to find a new way to breathe, and this is much more expensive than escaping from predators. After all, breathing problems are not the only negative. Despite the fact that the shells remain very strong, this does not mean that turtles do not feel when they are touched. That is, even if the predator cannot crack the shell, the animal inside still feels everything thanks to the nerve endings. Maybe, of course, it doesn't hurt as much as if a crocodile, for example, bit someone's hand, but it's still hardly pleasant. Add to this the problems with maneuverability and flexibility. Most evolutionary anthropologists believe that turtles of the past, which did not yet have rigid shells, were much faster than modern ones. The logic here is quite simple. The shell is great for protection from predators, but limits the number of possible movements. Because of this, the turtle cannot develop high speed on land. In addition, the shell increases the weight that the turtle must carry with him. Why, even modern leatherback turtles prove that hard shells have many disadvantages. These animals can dive to a depth of more than a kilometer, and all thanks to a relatively soft shell that is not connected to the skeleton, flexibility and other evolutionary adaptations. Other turtles can't go that deep without harming their health. Although you know what? All these disadvantages of shells, the advantages of shells are nonsense. Turtles pee with their mouths. I just couldn't help but share it. Of course, not all species do this. Strictly speaking, only Far Eastern turtles do this. They immerse their heads in water and rinse their mouths to remove urea from the body, the main component of animal urine. That is, they practically spit it out. Only 6% of urea is excreted by these turtles in the traditional way, the rest goes through the bloodstream. So they avoid dehydration. I have to go to the toilet, I can't stand it. Turtles are really strange, but everyone knows about them, and it's hard to imagine a world in which there are no turtles. What if it really happens? Let's say the predators learn to crack the shells and eat all the turtles on the planet. Then it will be a very smelly planet. Turtles are excellent scavengers who enjoy eating dead fish. And if you know how rotten fish smells, you can imagine what kind of smell turtles save us from. They will not be there, and it will be difficult to approach many reservoirs. Of course, there are other scavengers, but we really risk getting a world with a disgusting flavor. Oh, wait a second, but history is full of examples when our planet smelled just awful. For example, researchers claim that the ancient Romans lived in smelly cities. Imagine a market selling fish and meat on a hot summer day. Refrigerators have not yet been invented, products deteriorate quickly. Their smells are mixed with smoke from sacrifices, plus the lack of sewerage. Yes, at that time there was already a large sewer, part of the sewage system, but studies show that it mainly served to drain water that accumulated in the streets or filled the lowlands after river floods. That is, it was not used to remove, let's say, human waste. And even later, our cities didn't always smell better. Of course, most of the periods of unpleasant odor were associated with rapid urbanization and poverty, but not only. What is it about? The stink of the Venetian canals still causes problems. Hey, turtles, I didn't get it. Are you going to do something about it? See you soon.